It was one of those classic British days, cold, wet, and just miserable enough to make you question all of your life choices. But instead of staying in, I grabbed my camera and headed for one of the few places I knew I could stay relatively dry. And because I like making things harder for myself, I set a rule: 20 minutes in each spot. No wandering, no chasing, just me, some strangers, and the slow march of time. But what I learned: where you choose to wait can make or break your street photos. And that's what this video is all about. Let's get into it. We're hitting 4 very distinct areas in the Barbican, all very different, and each one teaches a specific lesson about street photography. How to use scale and space, find structure, work with depth and perspectives, and wait for the right subject. I used the Ricoh GRIII X, the 40mm version, and switched between 40mm and the 50mm and 71mm crop modes, depending upon how far away from the subject I was shooting, such as when I was trying to keep myself dry. Settings wise, I kept things flexible. Apertures between f2.8 and 5.6, auto ISO from 100 to 3200, with a minimum shutter speed of 1/250th of a second. To freeze movement, I went with f2.8 in some cases, because a few of these locations were pretty dark yet totally atmospheric, with a futuristic, almost Blade Runner vibe. And of course, in true spring fashion, I turned up woefully underprepared, wearing just a t-shirt, a light shirt and shorts. I was probably the only person in London dressed for a beach day, surrounded by people in raincoats and umbrellas. The irrational fear of overheating, for me, still wins out over getting a bit soggy. This was the ground floor entrance of the Barbican Centre, a spot most people just walk through without a second thought. But as a street photographer, as you probably know, you look for distinctive details. And when you do, the visual elements started stacking up. A huge cylindrical light overhead, acting as a natural frame, angular walls with bold curved lettering, a mix of ceiling lights and glowing exit signs, and lit up elevator panels reflecting off the surfaces to create this cinematic, moody glow. You've also got natural light pouring in from behind, which gave me silhouettes without needing to adjust anything. The takeaway: don't just chase subjects, build your frame first. Look for all kinds of unique and interesting details that can make your composition attention-stopping, whether it's bold shapes, lighting contrasts, or reflective lights glowing off the floor. Compose with intent and let the subject complete the scene. And here's a second takeaway: the more you train your eye to notice small architectural cues, a curve here, an angular wall that creates depth there, the faster you'll start spotting unique compositions that some photographers might overlook. That's how you shift from reacting to anticipating in street photography. Spending 20 minutes in one spot like this trains your focus. It forces you to slow down, study the light, and really understand how the elements in the frame work together. So when something does happen, you're ready to capture it with intent. I took the next bunch of shots from underneath a huge brutalist apartment block overhang, whilst the rain was coming down hard. Because I was dressed appropriately for the day, obviously I couldn't move much, and honestly I didn't want to. The scene in front of me already had everything: towering concrete, harsh lines, and that cold reflective pavement that only wet weather can give you. I knew that this location was all about the imposing brutalist architecture, so I treated the subjects like small figures within the frame. The challenge was making the composition clean, watching the edges, avoiding chopped off lampposts or awkward cuts through architecture and the flower beds. The takeaway: in big spaces like this, don't fill the frame for the sake of it. Step back, let the environment do the hard work, keep an eye on your camera's LCD screen, and use the scale of the scene to create mood and structure. Spend 20 minutes doing street landscapes and you'll see it's not just about finding a subject. It's about letting the space set the stage, so when somebody finally walks through, the story's already waiting. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me keep making more of these. And if you're wondering about the edits, every photo that you've seen today was edited with my own Lightroom presets. And if you sign up for my newsletter, there just might be some discounts there for you. But if you join my Patreon, I'm including my full color preset pack, plus a new monthly preset, and you'll get a whole load of goodies every month. I've just uploaded brand new content for June. The link is down below. Thank you very much. On level 2 of the Barbican, I was drawn to this spot because of how it plays with perspective. You've got that bold wall with the signage on the left, acting as a foreground anchor. Then the frame opens up to the right, where light pours in, and people sit and move through the space. It gives you a layered composition without needing to move. The angular shapes in the architecture naturally guide the eye, and even better than the ground floor, the glow from the elevator doors reflects beautifully on the tiled floor. What I realised after 20 minutes was how powerful layered compositions can be when you let the space do the work. Foreground structure, background depth, and directional light can all work together to make your scene more dynamic before the subject even arrives. When you're choosing your location, look for layered elements. Position foreground structure on the edge of your frame, wait for middle ground activity, find a decent background, let the scene build itself. This is probably my favourite area in the Barbican. The ground floor area next to Silk Street Theatre. It looks straight out of Blade Runner: glowing ceiling panels, beautifully atmospheric lampshades, textured walls, and 2 tunnel-like walkways that are brimming with atmosphere. The scene that I was capturing already felt cinematic, so the key here was for me to wait for a subject who matches that world. Someone dressed smartly, or carrying something colourful such as this umbrella, can shift the entire mood. Even more important is the pose. The right stride, posture, or gesture can make your photo feel like a still from a movie. Taking 20 minutes at a location like this and firing off multiple shots gives you the time to capture the right subject along with the right pose. If your photo already feels like a film set, nighttime in New York, London, or anywhere else where you shoot your street photography, don't rush. Be patient and wait for a subject that belongs in that story. Before I wrap up, I just wanted to throw in one extra principle. It's something that helped me tie these locations together. Leading lines. Whether it's the slope of a ramp, the curve of an underground passage, subtle shadows and tiling on the floor, or the edges of a wall, I'm always looking for lines that guide the viewer's eye through the frame. They help build flow, add energy, and draw the attention straight to the subject and throughout the composition, even when the subject's small or subtle. The takeaway: follow the lines and let them lead exactly where you want your viewer to look. Start building the habit of scanning your frame for lines, whether they're obvious or subtle, and use them to guide the story within your shot. So look for unique details, compose with intent, use scale to create cinematic mood, build perspective into your frame, wait for the subject that fits the scene, and let leading lines do the heavy lifting. Which one of these takeaways do you find helpful in your own street photography? Or is there another approach that you swear by when you're working at a single location? Let us know down below. And if you enjoyed this one, check out this video next. We dive into whether colour or black and white really works better for street photography. Until we meet again, go forth and create.